What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Tell Me More podcast presented by the Real Estate Cheat Code. I have Sarah Lepore with me. She is with FourSeasons Realty, and I'm super excited because Sarah and I, we were just talking backstage. We've been social media friends. We've met in passing at events, but we've never really had a deep dive conversation. So, Sarah, thanks so much for taking your time to join us today and to share with our audience kind of your journey in life and, also into real estate.
Thank you for having me, John. I appreciate you for having me here. And at least I'm going to also learn more about you a little bit, but I've followed you, I've watched you, and I'm really, really proud of what you're doing, and especially bringing agents together, bringing us not as competitors, but as colleagues that, help each other and what we can learn from each other.
Yeah.
So,
No, thank you. Thank you for that. It's one of those things that, why I do this and why I bring on top agents in our marketplace and eventually top agents across the country is because, I had an experience that most agents don't have, in the sense that I had mentorship from day one, and the audience that follows, they know my story. But, the reason why I want to bring, people like yourself on is because I want, if this can help someone else, whether it's here in our market in Columbus, Ohio, or, Dallas, Texas, or Seattle, Washington, or whatever, if they can see your story and your journey and they can relate to that and give them hope of, real estate is something that I can do or something that I can lean into. And we served our purpose. And so, Sarah, where we start always, on the Tell Me More podcast is the very beginning of the journey, which is life like, what was life like for you growing up as a kid?
Well, my journey starts way back in Africa. So I was born in Kenya. The town is Narok, and a small village called Enaibelbel. And I cannot even dare you to pronounce that, Johnny, because it's probably not going to work. It's called Enaibelbel. And I went to school. Some part of early of my school, I was in the village, actually in a farm. And after that, I went to a boarding school. And it's not out of the normal. Boarding schools are very normal in Kenya. So majority of parents send their kids there because of better education. So I went to a boarding school growing up, and then even my whole of high school, I was in a boarding school, and it was all girls school. And my mom had a business. She had a retail business, and we would all help, after, during those breaks, because you'll go to school 3 months, come back for 1 month, and then I find myself helping throughout. So I believe probably that was the first introduction of, sales as growing up. And also my dad was a doctor, so he was never part of the business. So my mom really involved us, because she would travel sometimes to go and get goods, and we are the one running the business with my siblings. So that really helped me to have those skills of interacting with people, having that confidence. I was never like a shy person. But you get to those teenage years where you kind of retrieve a little bit, but you also find yourself. And then I went to college in University of Daystar University in Nairobi. So that is like probably 2 hours away, or 2 hours away from home. Yeah. And after I graduated, that's when I got a chance and opportunity to come to America. And that's how I ended in America.
I got to ask you, boarding school and leaving at a young age and, being away from your parents for months at a time, what was that like? It had to have been hard. And, it's just something that, we don't really do a ton here, in America and in the United States. So I bet it probably helped finding friends and talking to people and all of those things. But
I can tell you, John, it wasn't easy. First of all, you don't have hot showers. It's cold showers in the morning. You can imagine that. And just as a little child, you're in fourth grade and fifth grade, sixth grade, you are away from home. I can't imagine that. I'm a mother of two kids, and I cannot imagine sending my kids away. And I don't know what my parents were thinking. I'm sorry to say that. But looking back, honestly, it forces you to grow real quick and to be independent. And because there's nobody there to tell you, wake up, do this, or study, are you done with your homework? All that. So that really shaped the biggest part of my life.
yeah,
Because after that, I still went to a boarding school in high school. So growing up in boarding school teaches you to be very independent and to be able to stand on your own, of which is very, very important even to what I'm doing today, because it's really being in real estate. It's your own thing. You're running your own business. I mean, yes, you have a company there, but I always look at, yes, these big brand names and all that, but even you can be in a small brokerage, but the way you present yourself is what really matters.
yeah, yeah. I mean, just the having to be the self-starter,
Yes.
and have that self-drive at such a young age to just, like you said, wake up or do your homework, when most kids, that's what we're fighting our parents against,
Yes. Even in high school.
Yeah, exactly. So talk to me about, you go to college, what did you study? And you mentioned, after college, that's what brought you here to, the United States.
Yes.
Talk to me about, your college journey and then that journey coming over to the United States.
So after my graduation in Daystar University, I wanted to further my studies here. So I came as a student and I landed in Oklahoma, University of Central Oklahoma in Edmond. And after that, I had friends who were we were together in Daystar University in Kenya, and they found themselves in Ohio.
Hmm.
And after, I think, one semester, yes, after one semester, they invited us by then to come and look at Columbus, because you see, Columbus is growing, had so many jobs. And I remember actually she sent me a booklet that I think it used to be called Job News. And there was another one, I can't remember the names. And she's like, Sarah, this is a place to be. It's growing. Because I was really looking to go to Dallas because it's very near. And when I came here, I got a job with Bank One, which
Okay.
is now Chase, before it was bought by Chase. And that's when I started. Now that's when I transitioned to Columbus. And after that, I had my firstborn in 2003, and it was not easy to pay for, a daycare and work. So we started getting into real estate. And actually, to take you back, I remember what really sparked my interest in real estate.
Hmm.
I saw an advert in on TV, and it was, I don't know if you can remember a guy called Carlton Sheet. Back in 2000, early 2000, 2003, he used to do a lot of advertisement, and he would say something like, make money in real estate. You can be able to use other people's money. Do
Yeah.
you want to learn? And that sparked my interest. And I'm like, okay. And then people who have done it, who have learned through him, will give testimonials.
You're right.
And they had a seminar in downtown Oklahoma. And I was like, I want to attend this and see what is all this. So that's how I ended up, actually, that's what sparked my interest in real estate. It's a TV ad before I even got here. So when I attended that, they told, after the seminar, after 2 hours of, being given what you can do, and it was really not sales. It was to do with investment properties, foreclosures, hard homes and all that. And they told us, if you want to be coached and all that, then you have to get you have to pay $1,000. I didn't have $1,000.
Yeah.
I didn't have $1,000. So that was an opportunity passed until I came down here. I joined RIA. It was an investment group that met Tuesdays. And I don't know if they still meet, by the way. Have you heard of them, the Real Estate Investment of Columbus?
No, I haven't heard of them.
Okay, it used to be back in those years, early years, and they used to meet on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So we'll go there. So my goal was really not to get my license. It was really to learn about how to invest.
Yeah.
And we started buying properties. And after some time, like, okay, instead of actually using somebody else, why should I not get my license? And that's how I got my license.
So let me ask you this. It was,
yes.
You work your other job while buying these investment properties? Is that how you kind of leverage the income and things like that?
So I was still working in Bank One. And then I was doing part-time real estate, but investment, not sales.
Right.
But I did not go back after I got my child because I wanted to spend more time. And that time I was still with the father of my children. So we were able to support each other that way.
Yeah.
That relationship didn't work out, but I have two beautiful children who are actually in college right now. And being in real estate, which is really the beauty of it, has really helped me to be able to spend time with my children, and also as I help families, and I'm able to, the flexibility.
Yeah.
That really, that has come with that. And I'm truly blessed when I look back that I was able to attend the activities when I'm needed.
Yeah.
So that's how I transitioned.
How many houses or properties did you guys buy before you made the decision to get your real estate license?
Gosh, probably maybe 10.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What year did you decide to get your license in?
I got my license in 2006.
Okay.
And by the way, in 2006, when I got my license, I also decided to get my loan officer license. So I was selling, and at the same time, I will originate the loans.
Yeah.
So in for how long? I had my license, my loan officer license for about 3 years.
Okay. Did you find that kind of helped you Obviously having the investment background and, understanding real estate and how it worked, I'm sure transitioning into real estate from an agent standpoint was a little bit easier of a process from knowing the mechanicals of a transaction, right? As far as like earnest money and inspections and appraisals and all those good things. Um, but when you decided to get your real estate license,
Mhm.
did you have supporters? Did you have doubters? How did that go around with the people around you?
Um, I really don't remember having any doubters. I think I had a lot of support. Um, and I really didn't have to care about, what other people are saying. I was focused that this is what I want to do
Yeah.
and I'm going for it. The people around me really supported me, and I was able to help, family, friends.
Hmm.
So it has been a journey. I
Yeah, that
mean,
was
I can't say that it has always been flowers. I can't say it has always been a bed of roses, for sure not.
yeah.
So back after when I got my two licenses, you remember after 2007, 8, 10, remember what happened in the market?
Yeah. Well,
And
I was gonna ask
yes,
you that, obviously coming to Columbus, not really knowing anyone. You knew some people, right? Because that's how you came to
yes,
Columbus.
yes.
And then you got your real estate license. How did you build the business? Like, how did you go about building your business? And then also too, like you were just getting ready to talk about, '08 happened, '09 happened, 2, 3 years into your new career, that you're trying to build. So walk me through the kind of the very, very beginning of how did you focus your essentially you're in a new city. You don't really know that many people. And here you are trying to build a real estate business and trying to connect with people. How did you do that?
I can tell you, John, that's a good question. That being in a new city, you have to put yourself out there. So I did a lot of flyers. I did a lot of knocking doors.
Mm,
I'll make flyers. I'll go to apartment complexes, and I will those people who put, you come and you find a little flyer in your door. No solicitation, but it's there. I was, and I will go to a lot of events. I'll present myself out there. I also did those signs that you go and put outside
mm.
on the road.
Yeah, the bandit signs.
Yes, so I did those, and also those flyers I'll take into businesses out there, restaurants. There's no place I will go when I'm shopping in Walmart. If I see somebody, I'm handing them a flyer. That will start a conversation. So it was really putting myself out there that really made a difference. I will go to the same businesses over and over. So I got to know a lot of business owners through that way because they know like every 2 weeks she's here bringing the same things.
Yeah. I mean, we're laughing about it, but it works.
Yes, yes, I did a lot of that. And after some time, really, I started seeing fruits. It was not something that, it was not like, boom, this happened. No, it was gradual, slowly. And then come 2008 and 10, it was really hard. But what really helped me is to have the two licenses that I could originate and I could also sell. So that really helped. And I know now there's a conflict of interest. You can't really do both. but you will write a real estate purchase contract and you will originate the loan. So you're being paid 2 times. And we used to charge, discount points those times a lot. And there was not a lot of laws that were preventing, and that's really what caused all that crash, because of those loans that were stated income, no documentations. You just state what you make and you get a loan.
Some people watching this probably, don't understand how lenient everything was, back then. And that was before my time. I got in 2011, so I got the tail end of everything. But
Yes.
So you went around to business. Basically, you looked for opportunities to either pass out a card, pass out a flyer, or put a sign in a yard, or a sign on the side of the road. In order to get your name and information out there. But then we have 2008, 2009, 2010 that happens early in your career. I always tell people, I feel, and I couldn't have timed this back then. Like there was no thinking about it, but I always say I feel blessed that I got in 2011 and at least got the tail end of everything, because having the hard conversations with people about bankruptcy or people that just came out of bankruptcy, or having the conversations of someone that lost their home to foreclosure or short sale, but having to explain to them that it's still great to own a home. Right.
Yes.
Differently this time, right? Like, let's look at things a little bit differently this time. It helped me set up my career to where those hard conversations back then are so key for what we do today. How did you navigate those waters that time with your real estate business? Did you just kind of put your head down and stay status quo of how you were building your business? Did you have to pivot your business?
I think what I did is really just staying consistent. Consistency is one key that I can say that you have to be, no matter what, and keep believing that you are doing the right thing. After that, as you say, there's this hard conversation that you have to be transparent with your clients. And having those hard conversations, I believe, has really brought me to this far, being honest and being very transparent. And because I always ask myself, if I'm selling this home to this person, looking back, have I done everything? Have I told them everything? Are they going to come back and say, oh, she didn't tell me? That still happens, because sometimes in the midst of having all these conversations, sometimes, people, sometimes they don't get all the information at once, because it's a lot, especially for a new person and when a new buyer. But I can say just staying consistently doing the same thing helped me. And I believe also being a believer, I'm really a believer of God, that knowing that in every situation, even hard times, it builds you to a better person. Yeah.
How did have you just always built your business this way, or did you ever change the way that you, looked at your business, as you got through, right, 08, 2009, 2010, 2011, then obviously the current day? Is it still word of mouth and just networking?
Right now, for the last couple of years now, I have not done what I used to do, like taking flyers, because the word of mouth and just referral and repeat business. And I think that is the beauty of being consistent and even being true to yourself. When you do that, people will see value. And when you treat people right, they will never forget you. I meet people after 10, 15 years, and I'm very good in names, and I'm thinking, I call them by names because I've realized that Colombia is very small. It's a small city. After 10 years, you meet the same. I'm like, oh, 10 years ago, you bought a home. And and also keeping in touch with them really has, I can say I think my model of business has kind of changed to being a referral based.
Yeah.
But I still put myself out there, like, was it this month? Actually, last month, it was Black History Month. I attend those uh, community events, and I still put myself and present myself out there. And sometimes what I found out is when you go out there, you are not actually going to meet the client that you probably, you are the one going to sell a house for. No, you are making these connections, and knowing that you are an agent, that person knows that person and that person knows the other person.
Yeah.
So when I go to an event, I don't go there with a mind of, okay, maybe this is going to be my client. Yeah, sure, they might be my client. But what I have found out, majority of the time, the people that I meet are actually going to connect me to their neighbor, to their friend. So I never shy away sharing who I am. So if it's to pay for those events for me to be there, I will pay a table. I'll have a table there just to have my face out there. So I still go out there in those community events. And when I started, I didn't actually have enough funds to do that, to be out there. And I'm grateful that right now, I can be able to actually put back into my business, because you have to put back into your business for it to be able to grow. And because if you stay at the same place, then you can't grow.
Let me ask you this, Sarah. I did not grow my business the way you grew your business. I was calling internet leads. So I was talking to strangers just in a different way.
Okay.
For those that, maybe don't have the money, to buy for leads, or, aren't in a situation where, they have the funds to send out mailers or whatever the case may be. What has helped you with connecting with strangers? Do you have like a go-to introduction? Because you said, what you found out with you was it wasn't this person that's probably going to use me, but they're probably going to refer someone to me.
Correct.
And my experience with just coaching agents and being in the business and seeing how, personalities work, that tells me that you leave a lasting impression that lasts longer than your business card, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They hold on to your contact information.
Yes.
And I believe some of that can be learned, and I think some of that is natural. And maybe you picked up on that and got that ability from growing up and being, in your mom's store, talking to strangers and learning sales.
Mm-hmm.
But is there something that you do intentionally to make that introduction? And how do you let them know that you're a real estate agent? Because I think that's where a lot of people get caught up on is, I don't want to come across as salesy. I don't want to, just only talk real estate to them. How do you navigate that conversation?
To me, I find it very natural to connect with people. And I think it's not to shy away. So I don't just go directly and say, hey, I'm a real estate agent, and all that. So I just find something in common that we can talk about. And, being now a parent of college students, and, that, is sometimes a connection with other parents, what their kids are doing. So just being in front of people and talking to them, and that will just bring a natural connection that you can be able to share who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. And, in
Mhm.
today's world, it's different, back from when you got into the industry. But, I always tell people, or I always tell agents, they're gonna go and find you on social media. They're gonna see who you are and what you do and your
Mhm.
hobbies and what you do for work and all those things. All you have to do is just stay top of mind long enough to where when someone's thinking about real estate, they think of you. And that's what I took away from what you shared is you have this probably natural ability to leave a lasting impression on that person that's a stranger to you.
Yeah, and talk of social media, I'm not very big in that, and I'm really trying because I know that's where the world is going. And it's not very natural for the old folks like us to adapt into the social media and posting and all that. So I'm still also learning in that. And the important thing is to say to even people who are listening out there is it's about learning because you can never stop learning.
Mm,
Because when you stop learning, then you die.
mm,
It's two things. You either grow or you die. You cannot be at the same level year come, years goes, and the same. So you have to adapt. And I'm really trying to adapt with, I'm not there yet on the social media. And hopefully that, I can get better as I grow. So yeah, I think it's really adapting to new ideas and to learning. And one other thing that I can also say is to open yourself up, not to be closed out.
mm. What do you mean by open yourself up?
Sometimes we get intimidated by people just because maybe that is somebody with maybe a big time lawyer or a big time somebody. But at the end of the day, these are people, these are human beings just like the way we are.
Mm,
So I mean being open is to know that everybody is a human being and we are all in the same level and we connect humanly, not with titles, but who we are.
mm.
When we know that, then we can be able to be confident who we are and what we bring on the table.
I
Because,
like
yes,
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's me when I first started doing videos, right?
yes,
Worrying about other people's, opinions and, what
exactly.
they think and, me doing the podcast space, right? And then you see
Yes.
like, oh, I'm not getting that many, followers or interactions or whatever. And then, what that does is it just stops us. And, I always when I started doing the video, it was like my whole goal was just consistency. I didn't care if it
Mhm.
was I didn't care if I had comments. I didn't care if I gained followers. I just had to show up and do it daily. Uh,
Yes,
I like your explanation of opening up because we all experience those same feelings, right? It doesn't
exactly.
matter where you're at, in your career. If I go and try something new, like me going to a network event is like me sweating and it's not my comfort zone, right? But
Mhm.
be on the phones calling, internet leads, I'm good to go. So, but it comes back to we're just afraid of other people's opinions.
That's very true. And I think you have to be delivered out of that for you to be able to succeed.
Yeah,
Because because you have to put yourself out there. And also, if you don't know you don't have to know everything.
right.
You will go as you learn. And don't be afraid if somebody asks you a question to say, I don't know that, I will do more research.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned.
So I want to move to the future of where you want your business to go.
Mhm.
What's something that you're looking to accomplish in the next 12 months?
In the next 12 months, what I can say, I have been doing this for a while now, and it has, in the beginning, it was only me, and then I got to a place where I was able to hire an assistant. And I have had her for 6, going to 7 years. And looking back, I sat down and I asked myself, what do I really want to do and to grow? And I came up with that I really now need to build a team where even when I'm not there, they can still do what I can be able to do. There is that fear sometimes of being an agent that if you let go of your clients or they're not going to be treated right, you know. And for you to be able to go to the next level, you have to be able to delegate and to grow other people. And this is really what I'm really trying to accomplish in the next few years to come, is to bring, it might not be a big team, but I wanted to be the best.
Yeah. What,
So
what do you think that you would need to put in place within your business in order to grow to that next level?
So if I bring other agents who wants to grow and who wants to learn, I'm really willing to pour out into new agents who are open into, growing with, a small brokerage and to be able to support them. So if I support them, then I'm also growing because, I'm a real estate broker with FourSeasons. So if I can be able to grow a team, then they can be able to grow to hopefully to the same level where I am or even better. Because if you create even people who are doing better than you, they also challenge you. So in the next few years, that's really what I want to do. I want to develop a team. I want them to grow. I want to see them succeed, that I can be able to look back and say, you know what, I'm proud of that person. Just the same thing like you're doing, John. You're growing people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's nothing that it can be fulfilling when you see that you have really made a change of somebody's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always tell people it's like, if you're a real estate agent having that first commission, that's a whole nother, level of excitement or high or whatever you want to call it. And like for me, seeing an agent being able to transition from a career maybe they no longer enjoy, or to get themselves out of a situation that, they were in because of real estate, there's no other high for me
Yes.
than seeing someone make that step. Because like I said in the very beginning, like I didn't have the quote unquote real estate, new agent struggles and all of those things. So all I kind of knew was training and support and leads and admin and, all of those things. And I know so many people, and the one thing that I think about a lot is there's so many agents out there that have potential, that could be great agents, that could build big businesses, that could help other people find, real estate, buy, sell, and invest in real estate, but they were just put into the wrong situation. And so those people are no longer in the business because of it, And so that's what keeps me going. I got to ask you, Sarah, what's a legacy goal for you?
Wow, that's a tough one because I'll not be here. My biggest one is always really fastest for my two kids who are in college right now is I want them to remember me as a good mother that was there for them, and for them to know that they can say that I've always stood with them. In business, I want when people look back, they can say she was kind, she was honest, she gave it all, she was an outstanding agent. That's what I would want them to remember.
I love that.
Yes.
Sarah, last question for you. And it's if you could give our audience one piece of advice that maybe you received early in your career, or one piece of advice if an agent asked you, about real estate, what would that be?
I will say is don't ever stop learning. If there is an opportunity to learn, go for it. And then I will also say own your own mistake, admit when you actually do wrong. Because sometimes, of course, I've made mistakes. And sometimes we don't want to admit those mistakes.
Yeah.
So if you miss something in the contract that was not supposed to be there, that was supposed to be there, because I've done that, I have admitted that that was my mistake, I omitted that, and I will correct it if that's what it takes. I have bought, appliances because I omitted it in the contract.
We all have something like that.
And I'm like, what do I do here?
Yeah.
You admit, yes, I did that. It was an honest mistake. And if they are not able, because sometimes other people will be like, okay, that's fine. What about the people who don't have funds to buy maybe that fridge? So, and also the other advice I could tell maybe someone is don't always look at the money. You do the right thing and the money will follow. You treat the clients who is buying 50,000, 60,000 the same way you will treat that client that will be able to buy $1 million home. Because sometimes that lead of 60 will be able to bring you the other person.
Yeah. So true. Sarah, thanks so much for, just sharing with the audience, your journey, getting into real estate, how you built your business, how you think about your business. Those that are watching, if you are looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate here in Central Ohio, reach out to Sarah. Her phone number is down below. Her Facebook is down below. If you're a real estate agent and you just connected with her story, make sure you connect with her and reach out. But Sarah, for those that are listening in, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
They can reach me on my cell phone number, which is 614-218-3316. I can also connect on Facebook, which is it's on the screen, is S. Siamanta Lepore, or Lepore. If you're an American, you say Lepore. If you're from Africa, it's Lepore. I've actually adapted Lepore since I came to America.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, thanks again. If I can do anything for you, please let me know. I'm here to help and serve and help you grow your business and and, you know, be a friend. So I really appreciate you jumping on with me today. And I enjoyed, you know, learning your story and your journey. So thanks again, and we'll talk here soon.
Thank you so much, John.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Bye.